So,
oh, I like that.
Yeah, I do too.
A little complexity going on in there. IPA and flavor, but with just a little bit of that. What's that?
I'm sorry, it's actual what?
What's that?
If we had to try one more beer, Ben, what would it be?
Our summer seasonal, a sorbet of beers.
Is it an ale?
It's an ale.
But it's 4.3%?
Yep.
Okay.
Sometimes you gotta get the brewer.
It happens.
Coming up on Drinking Made Easy, the 6 six-pack challenge.
Who's your favorite fighter?
The hardest words are fighting words.
I like guys who come to fight. I'll put it that way. I like guys who come in. I don't care if they win or lose. Come and fight.
What fighter do you think you most resemble?
A guy like Chuck. He's a badass dude.
Oregon.
Brewery that you'll find in the world.
Is sake more like a beer or more like a wine?
Sake is a natural. And I've got the fun sake.
You guys are kind of.
All new season of Get Out.
Catch an all-new Get Out every Thursday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern, only on HDNet. We're in Portland, Oregon, where Mark is visiting Sake One Brewery.
I didn't hear you come in. Just doing a little meditation before my Sake One Brewery here in Oregon. So what you guys are doing here in this room is very traditional sake making process.
We are the only American-operated sake brewery that you'll find in the world.
Is sake more like a beer or more like a wine?
Sake is a natural marriage between the two, but essentially sake is sake. You brew it like beer, but it's consumed like wine.
What is this right here? We have G.
So
G sake.
The G sake. The beauty about sake, you never pour your own drink.
Okay.
Yeah, your host, someone always pours for you.
Oh, well, I'm glad.
And that's kind of one of the things, so I'll go ahead and pour.
The thing that kind of confuses me is, like, sometimes I'll get it cold and sometimes I'll get it hot, and what's the big difference in serving?
Typically, your hot sake is going to be a lower quality or lower grade of sake. You're heating it up to mask the bitterness or the harsh characteristics of it. I call it the flagship of the flavor-infused sake. I like to call it the fun side of sake. We actually began infusing sake in '99 with flavors like Asian pear, raspberry, coconut lemongrass, plum. And those are sort of your non-traditional range of sake. Again, I talked about not being so serious. We are American operated. I have some traditional, very purist sake, but then I've got the fun sake.
You guys are kind of the innovators on this.
It's a very serious beverage in Japan, so you won't see infused sake. Recently, I would say within a year or two, they started to infuse sake in Japan as well.
Let's try it. So this is pear?
This is the Asian pear.
Asian pear.
What people tend to notice off the Asian pear is going to be the bouquet on this one. The nose is amazing.
So is it going to taste like pears?
Well, why don't we taste it and give it a shot?
Let's give it a shot, Tony.
So give it a nice little swirl. Kompai.
Man, that is really good.
While Mark was learning about drinks from the Far East, I was learning about what it was like to brew beer in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, man, it's just making world-class, community-based beer and food sustainably.
In order to call yourself sustainable, you need to be...
We're basically the only carbon-neutral brewery in the world. We purchase a lot of organic ingredients. We use renewable power, all those wonderful things.
You have erased your carbon footprint.
Yeah, we're carbon-neutral.
So how do you do that?
Well, we buy renewable power from wind sources, and to balance the energy that we buy is mopped up with reforestation projects that we invest in Panama and Colorado.
Is that part of it, that biodiesel?
Yeah, biodiesel is one huge part of what we do.
What's that from?
Yeah, it's from waste sources, restaurants in the Portland area. It's very important that the oil comes from waste sources, and then we use it to make the beer here in the brewery.
So like cooking up some French fries.
Yeah, the grease that comes off of those systems, we actually buy it from guys that turn it into biodiesel, and then we can burn that here to boil the beer.
Just because of the power source and where the resources come from, doesn't change the taste of the beer.
No, not
correct?
at all. No, the beer is great, and it just happens to be made responsibly.
And this is bicycle beer I'm having right here.
Ah, yeah.
You got a goodie.
That's perfect.
So what do you do with this bicicleta here?
So we take this around to different events in the area.
Do you ride it to the events, or do you trailer it?
Inside at 10 miles, we'll ride it. The rear rack holds 3 large pizzas. We got MP3 sound system fired off of the solar panel here. Charges the battery and allows us to rock with 3 speakers, and it holds 2 half-barrel kegs as well.
This rolls up with 3 pizzas in the back, music, and 2 kegs of beer. That's, as far as I'm concerned, that's a party. You could have 50 people sustained on this. That's bio-sustainable green beer consumption. What are people playing around here? What is this game?
Playing wash shoes. This is our 3rd annual intergalactic wash shoe tournament.
Who would you pick between me and Steve in a game of wash shoe?
I don't know. I think you're a ringer, man.
I'm good at wash shoes. That's all I'm saying. We're at Hopworks Urban Brewery, and we're gonna play a game of wash shoes with these washers. Wash shoe. Wash shoe.
It's time for the 6-pack challenge.
So here's the deal. In every episode of Drinking Made Easy, Steve and I will face off in a 6-pack challenge. We'll bet 6 6-packs on the outcome, and Mark will bet on who he thinks will win. Whoever wins the challenge gets 6 6-packs of beer.
This is worth 1 point, this is worth 3 points, and this is worth 5 points. If you get it in the 3, and then I get in 3, I wash out your 3.
And if you go over 21, you go back to 13.
McKenna draws first blood with a 5-point toss. Lamprey tries to answer. McKenna rims one out. Nothing for Lamprey or McKenna. And Lamprey slides one in the 5-hole.
Does that mean the 5 is wiped out, or is that a new one? Okay, 0.
Round 2, and not much is happening. A miss for Lamprey, and a miss for McKenna. And McKenna gets his 5 back.
That's a 5er.
That
was almost a 10er.
I didn't want to knock you out. Okay, I got 5.
Yeah!
McKenna increases his lead to 10. Nothing. Nada.
10 zippers.
Lamprey gets on the board with 5. Round 3, and 3 more points for Lamprey. That's gotta hurt. Ooh. Lamprey takes the lead with a 5-pointer. Nothing for McKenna. And a 3-banger for Lamprey.
16-10?
Yeah.
Lamprey is on fire with a 5er.
And you get to finish your turn. So you can undo me.
This is it?